beautiful muses, and welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot. Today we have another 5-minute Friday yes, no, maybe tarot reading. So the one thing I want to communicate before we jump into this reading is how to phrase your question so that the reading and interpreting what I'm seeing, as well as you integrating that interpretation for your question, is as clear and direct as possible. Phrase your question so that the yes outcome would be the one that feels most positive or aligned to your question, or the result you would most want, the answer you would most want. It just makes everything kind of go in the same direction and brings in a lot more clarity to things. So that being said, let's look at the 4 stones as placeholders for the 4 piles. So we have pile 1, which is Aquamarine. We have pile 2, which is a calcified blue coral. We have pile 3, which is a flower agate. And pile 4, which is opalite. Okay, for those of you that like the breath work that I lead to help inspire you and call in your higher, wider self, as well as your intuition and some divine guidance for connecting to the right pile, we'll jump into that now. If you have your own process, you can pause here and then go to the timestamps to go to your pile. Okay, so for those of you that want the breath work, place your feet solidly on the ground. Feel that stability, that support it provides, and take a deep breath in that sort of sinks you into your body, anchors you into your body, expands you into your body. Now exhale, and now take another deep breath and suck the air up, 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 up to the space between your eyes, your brows. Suck in a little more to add some pressure there. And then out loud, exhale, opening your crown chakra. Okay, now tune into these piles, the stones, and ask to connect to the one that has your most aligned reading for you. All right, I will see you guys in your readings. Hello, pile 1. You guys picked the Aquamarine, one of my favorite stones. Before we jump into the tarot, just a little intuitive hit I got from this. It was kind of simple. Sort of like, no matter what we see with the cards and whether we find a yes, no, maybe here, there was this sense of like there's a little bit more focus and intentionality that could be brought to your question. It felt a little, some kind of energy around this felt a little bit diffuse or spacey or something. And not necessarily in a bad way. It's just like, just find a way to sort of maybe anchor a little more and find some focus here. Okay, so we are going to first turn over your tarot cards to tease out whether this is a yes, no, maybe, and then we'll do some oracle cards to get some context. So 3 of materials, that's beautiful. Knight of inspiration reversed. And 3 of inspiration, and that's the focus, I feel like. 2 3s, that's a really beautiful, and then the dominoes, the facing dominoes both have 3 3. 4 threes. This one is more about like some collaboration needed here, and this 3 is about finding sort of your alignment and path, like having found alignment and path in something like your arrival, your clarity of direction, or the path opening up to you. So there's beautiful energy here. And the only reason why I'm going to say that this is a maybe with a slight skew towards yes is this reversed Knight of Inspiration. I think that there is a lot of energy and enthusiasm you could be putting toward this question. But for whatever reason, whether it's circumstances or your energy level is down, something is stagnant here. But if you can turn this around, if you can find some energy, if you can find some enthusiasm, some focus here, there's beautiful energy around this question, but you have to get right with your energy first. You have to find enthusiasm, like making this go forward, making that path one that there is like a path opening to you, and in order for you to even see it and know where to step, it's like you need to get more focused and become more present and aware. And I think by doing that, you'll find some enthusiasm, or like you'll notice where that opening is, and then enthusiasm will turn around for you. And this 3 of materials, it's like collaboration or teamwork, or just like a lot of things, even in motion. Connect into that however you can here. A lot of feeling of like diversity too, something bringing things together, diverse things together. Yeah, look for ways, look for different people to bring into this. What kind of allies, support, assistance might you need to get your yes here? That might also help you really find your focus and be present to what's opening for you here. Yeah, just some thoughts. But there is huge, beautiful potential if you can, just get more focused. Okay, let's get some context with your astrology cards. We've got South Node, Mercury, and Pluto. Interesting. Where I feel like you may be unfocused right now is I think there's some stuff you're having. I think it's partially circumstantial for you, which is making your energy a bit diffuse. Sorry. I think there's something you're facing right now, or something in the relational domain that you're kind of working out that's taking some of your energy and focus from this thing that could bring a lot of energy and enthusiasm into your life. And so if you're really wanting to kind of switch that energy and kind of clear out some of this stuff you're having to face and move into this different phase, this more fresh phase, like really work on communications with this thing that's sort of detracting from this question. Or certain relationships, just work on like finding the right communications, clearing some air, and then also through that really being open to any messages or downloads or information that can help bring this more into focus, your question more into focus as well. And then I definitely feel like if you can turn this into a yes, if you can clear this past stuff, this thing you're facing or this relational thing off of your plate or into the background in some way, and move into this, your question, in a more focused, enthusiastic way and get your yes. It's really going to bring some transformation in your life. So just something to be aware of too is that, you know, transformation, while that sounds great to kind of feel transformed, the process of doing that can bring a lot of upheaval and a lot of initially like some mess into things. So just be, you know, aware that focusing, finding the enthusiasm, making this a yes, expect a little bit of uprooting and a bit of a mess initially, but it will result in like rebuilding something in your life and finding new empowerment and yeah, your own sense, you know, a new sense of power in something here. Okay, we are going to do a couple of oracle cards to end this. Anahata. This is, yeah, your question is very much so connected to your heart. So I don't think it is a lack of not caring about this question. I think you care a lot about the question. I think it's very much so from, you know, related to something coming from your heart. So that's just like, would incite me to encourage you to try to find the focus and the enthusiasm, like to really move, you know, put, you know, anytime the heart is directing us and guiding us, it's always something that's so powerful and aligned for us. So I would encourage you to really put effort into bringing focus to this. Whew. Then we have casket. Someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Yeah, that's the past. And I think that's something that's sort of creating a bit of a cloud right now. So it might just be something that needs to be cleared away first. But, you know, communication, clearing the air, saying what needs to be said, informing who needs to be informed. Something about that will really help get this off your plate so that you can move towards this, your question. Get the past off the plate and move towards your question. And then broom, new home, new attitude. And that's what this feels like. I don't think it literally has to be a new home, but like some new new path, new opening, bringing a new attitude and a new mentality with Mercury too. Watch for changes in mentality that are from your heart or that feel positive. That can also help kind of sweep some debris out. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you, pile one. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Little comments are always fun to peruse, and definitely hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile two. You guys picked this blue, calcified blue coral. And before we jump into your cards, I just want to bring up an intuitive hit I got from your stone while I was shuffling and drawing your cards. It was sort of like, not to detract from what we're going to get into in the reading, and I would imagine the reading might show this anyway, is I think something is going to really soon and very suddenly and out of nowhere, kind of seemingly, kind of enter your life or shake something up or like come in to shift something that will shift how you're even thinking about what you just asked. And that's not to say there's a, you know, this is a yes, no, or maybe. It doesn't really have to do with that, but there may be a shift coming in around what you're hoping for here. But let's see what your cards say to maybe add to this. So 2 of emotions. Hierophant and the Wheel. Yeah, there is a different cycle coming in. I've actually never done this, but I want to turn over your astrology cards before I determine the yes, no, maybe here. Partnership, entrance. Yeah, I get, this is a maybe to me. I don't quite know how to give a yes or no to this. And I think it has a lot to do with that. I feel like something is about to come in that's going to even shift how you would ask this or what you would want from what you're asking. And it's just like a new cycle is coming in, and I don't think it's one that you're anticipating. Sometimes we work really hard and are trying to kind of turn a corner in life in certain things, and we are very directed in that. And sometimes things happen that just shift our life suddenly and unexpectedly, and that's what I feel like a shift is coming. It doesn't necessarily have to be some like big life altering shift, but some shift, some change in chapter, some change in season or cycle is coming in that is going to, it's just going to change your focus. And so it's a maybe. The reason why this is maybe is it just sort of depends on you when this shift comes in, what you still want in relation to this question. I think it's very much so something that's possible for you. I think you have a lot of soul alignment with what you ask, which always gives good green lights. I think you have a lot of wisdom and a lot of wise people around you. And so I think if you still want the yes when this shift comes in, I think very much so you can have your yes. But shift things, and so something just might shift around this. But the good news is what you end up wanting around this question is in your hands, which is great. But there's a fresh something coming. There's strength in what is, you're coming into a certain strength in this, whatever this shift brings is bringing you into some strength. And coming under the Hierophant, how I was feeling like there's wise people around you. It might be a spouse or someone that you have a deep relationship with. There's a lot of support there and a lot of wisdom there to look to. Okay, let's finish off with some oracle cards. Cognizance. There's the mental realm right now feels very dragonfly-ish to me, like things are kind of shifting and changing, and there's some illusions even in mental energy here, in information here, in mentality even here. It's just like wait until you feel like there's more clarity, and I think that's going to come when this kind of shift comes. And so when your mind feels clear, you'll know what you want, and I think you'll get what you want. Okay, and then purse. Pay attention to your finances and older man dealings or relationship with an older man. So this partnership card and relationship card, it could be like even more like a father or a grandfather or something, and not necessarily a spouse that has, or it could be in addition to, but I do think that there's an older man in your environment that's very supportive and wise, and potentially also a partner. And pay attention to your finances. This is just, yeah, maybe this has something to do with the shift that's about to come in that will strengthen that for you, that will expand your purse. Like maybe right now, your purse strings feel a little measly or something, which is affecting or in relation to why you are even asking this question. And I think that's another reason why it's good to wait for a minute for this shift to take place, because I think that's going to strengthen that as well for you. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you, pile 2. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up, and little comments are always really fun to peruse, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your yes, no, maybe. You guys picked the flower agate. And just a quick intuitive hit I got from your stone before we jump to the cards is no matter what answer you get here, the sense I was feeling as I was shuffling your cards and focusing on your stone was like, whatever answer comes through, how that answer manifests will be very unexpected. Okay, so let's dive into your tarot to tease out the actual yes, no, maybe. So Knight of Emotions, beautiful. Muse of Voices, that's like the King of Swords. Love those colors. And 5 of Voices, okay. Ooh, well, this is where I think you have all of the drive and mastery and control you need to make a yes happen for you in relation to this question, but I do think it's taking more self-directed effort. I don't think it will just happen. A yes won't just happen. But I think that there's something, so yeah, this is why I think there's going to be an unexpected development, or the way you get your yes, if you decide to self-direct towards a yes, is going to happen, is going to be unexpected, is that there are things like you would have to burn some bridges, or you would have to go up against something or someone here, or even just life here, in a way that feels sort of like it would stir the pot a bit. And there might be a better route by working to find a bridge versus burning a bridge, or finding a way to extend an olive branch, literally as she's extending an olive branch. I think there's a more beautiful way to go about what you're asking. And I think you need to trust that you have a lot of mental command and like a really fluid, dynamic, elegant mind that knows how to really command life, and you have a lot of passion and enthusiasm emotionally around you here. You may even just be like charged up emotionally about something. You might need to let that settle in order for your mind to kind of come in and bring elegance to this situation. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say is like, you can get the yes if you want, but it's coming with a warning that it may not be worth it to get the yes. Like, you may need to give this a minute, let some emotions settle, so that you can have a clear mind and see a better way to go about what you're asking about here. And for some of you, it may not even be like drama in the world you're having to deal with, but I think there's, in general, there's something your emotions need to kind of come into more of a baseline in order for your mind to see a more elegant path here, a more liberating path as well. Yeah, so that's what I'd say. You can get the yes, but I also think that whatever you do work towards, even if you decide to change your mind or how you're phrasing this or wait for a minute, or if you do self-direct to the yes here, I think things are going to go a little differently than you would expect. So yeah. Okay, so our astrology, we have progressions, Leo and Taurus. Two very stubborn signs, but also very beautiful signs, and progressions. Yeah, I feel like something's shifting here, and you kind of have like there's something you're being stubborn about, that's making, that's clouded by some emotion. And I think if you just let life progress for a minute and things calm for a minute, your heart is going to know how to step forward and lead here in a luminous, shining way and with an elegant mind and command. So I'm just sort of, what I'm seeing is like, maybe give this a minute, because I think if you let some emotions settle, there's probably if you let some emotions settle, some stubbornness may release around something. And a shift is going to happen, like in your stars or in the stars, that really helps you to see like a more luminous and elegant way to go about your question. Okay, last cards. Yeah, limbo. I really think you need to give some pause here to get the best result, which, may not be a yes to exactly how you've asked your question. Okay, and you ended up getting 3 tea leaves, which usually I do too, so let's see what that's about. Money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. Bull, plenty of material things. And fire, strong emotions, passionate love or hate. Yeah, I think there's some emotions that this question may have to do with money and others. For some, it doesn't have to, but for a lot of you, I feel like there's like a financial entanglement and some emotions around that. And so like let that passion kind of find more of a baseline than impulsiveness. And I think by doing that, you'll be able to rephrase how you're asking this and find, a much more luminous and elegant way forward. And, whether that's around financial entanglement or leads you to more, sense of abundance in some way, that waiting will help that be more of a result, a good result. Okay, that was sort of complex. If that resonated for you guys, I always appreciate a thumbs up, and little comments are definitely fun for me to peruse as well, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your Yes, No, Maybe reading. You guys picked the Opalite. So an intuitive hit I got from your stone as I was shuffling your cards. Sort of like, it was really interesting. Like I felt a lot of clarity initially, and then it was like different things would happen that felt chaotic as I was working on this file. And then I would like come back to clarity, and then like something chaotic would happen again. So I have this feeling that like you may feel like your question is constantly going through these moments of like feeling like you know your way with this, or know the focus with this, or what you want from this, and then suddenly things kind of fall apart, and then it comes, it's like this ebb and flow of like feeling clear and then things not being at all clear, and then feeling, like this weird, I don't know, it's like this ebb and flow of illusion and clarity kind of thing. I do think whatever we get in terms of your answer, by allowing that process to just be, allowing things to sometimes just be a little bit chaotic, it's like, I feel like something is trying to congeal here that's a little different than where your question is now. But let's see what the cards have to say. So 3 of Voices, 9 of Voices, oof, and Queen of Inspiration. Yeah. And this was one card as I was drawing your cards and shuffling cards. It flipped over and I saw the image, but I didn't see what it was. And so I do feel like, I'm going to kind of shift this a little out of the row. I feel like the way your question is phrased right now is sort of clouded in some grief, some fear, there's like a lot of mental baggage there, which is making that focus hard. And maybe there's like a lot of expectation you're placing on this question that needs to fall apart a little to kind of shatter some of this mental tension around here. And by letting your question fall apart a little bit, and they're not saying as a whole like what you're hoping for or what you're asking about needs to completely fall apart. There's just something here, some aspect of it that I feel like by letting it just ebb and flow and go through moments of chaos, like something's reordering. And how it reorders is going to bring out a much more luminous question and a much more luminous yes, and a much more luminous centering, like clarity, like warmth. Like, don't you want to feel like her around your question versus these around your question? So I think if you try to stay really clear and focused about where your question is now, it's gonna fall apart. Like, it's not gonna turn out the way you want, because it's sort of like based in some mental tensions and struggle. But if you kind of just like let life take your question into some ebbs and flows of clarity and unclarity, and just let things kind of flow for a minute, I think your question's going to reform, and it will feel like this, and you'll get this answer. So as your question is right now, it's a no. But as we've seen, there's some guidance here for you to get a better question and a yes that's beautiful from that better question. Let's see what your astrology says, get some context here. Yeah, I do feel for many of you this is a relationship question. It doesn't have to be, but there's entanglements, there's relational tensions here. And sitting in between that is this arrival, this new start that feels just like she feels. There's like a new energy waiting to come in, while certain entanglements, certain tensions, certain mysteries even in your life, just given some like time to breathe and space to relax or evolve or morph for something. It's like, just, yeah, I mean, I just feel like relax into life. Like something's going to evolve here without you really having to try it, other than trying to surrender in some way into a flow, into whatever is naturally wanting to occur here. It's like, give it a pause, and by doing that, it's like a new arrival, a new coming home to yourself, it feels like, is going to come in, that will have you feeling more centered and more confident in yourself and more loving of yourself here. Yeah, okay, let's see what we have with your Oracle cards. 1, you need to get back to you here. And so in order to do that, I think you just need to surrender into certain things kind of ebbing and flowing, and some things maybe flowing away. They don't have to flow away, but that ebbing and flowing and surrender kind of eases that too tight of tensions and too tight of entanglements and too tight of expectations, and allows that more flowy state to come in, and it will like get you back to yourself. That's what's being asked for here. And then ear, good news, which is beautiful to see. An eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. Yeah, and that's what I feel like. Just kind of let this ebb and flow come in. Relax a little. And I think, yeah, like some news may be coming in that like shifts you out of this tension and into a more centered place where you feel at one with yourself, where you feel returned to yourself, and that brings a triumph over whatever is going on in your life now, and it will reform your question, and it will bring a really beautiful yes, a much more centered question, hence centered yes here. So this is a no as it is right now, but there's very good news attached to that, that something really gorgeous is coming in if you can just kind of surrender, relax, let things ebb and flow. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Little comments are super fun for me to peruse, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. All right, see you guys.